Well, damn. Why they cut the last guy question off like that? They just cut my brother straight off. They're like, all right, we have no more times for any more questions. That was rude as fuck. Was his question that stupid? I was upstairs in the bathroom. Was it that stupid? Anyway, what's up with y'all? I've been working. I put out 18 videos since Sunday, some shit like that. So let's talk about the fight. I don't know if Canelo, I mean, you know, here's the thing. Danny Jacobs is the youngest, the most in his prime natural 160-pound fighter that Canelo will have on his resume, right? Right? Nobody asked about the undercard. Well, let me tell you about the undercard myself. David Lemieux is supposed to be on the undercard at 168. He's trying to get a WBA interim shot. Who else? Mauricio Herrera versus Virgil Ortiz supposed to be on there. They might try to throw King Ryo on there against somebody, you know, just for, you know, just to have him on the card. And that's all I know. You think they're probably going to bring Saddam Ali back? I'm looking forward to the fight because, you know, when you look at the competition that Canelo has fought outside of Golovkin since he fought Irizlandi Lara, Jacobs is the best, correct? Khan was too small. Liam Smith, that was at 154. He had to cut his hair, you know, get on the motherfucking scale, the cinnamon stick out, pause. You know, but now, I mean, and you're getting it for $10. Well, it's $20 now, in case, you know, you motherfuckers who didn't get the zone when you had a chance, and it was $20 a month, unless you pay the $100, but they want to make sure they lock you in. Cash Ali, nah, leave him where he at. Leave Cannibal Ali where he at. But I've been busy, man. You know, that fight is now what? What's that? Like 26 days away? 25 days away? That's crazy. Look at all these fights we being hit with, and I'm bitching now. I've been doing nothing but watching the boxing, watching interviews, and, you know, studying and reading rankings and shit. Yeah, no, well, see what it is I got to get away from this 3 a.m. shit that I'm on. I start my days at 3 a.m. So what goes on is I'll start my days at 3 a.m. And if I don't take my nap, like, I'm fucked. And what happens is I'm in the bed by 6, 7, 8 p.m. And then I'm up again at 3 a.m. Sometime 2 a.m. on Twitter. On Twitter, watching fights and movies and shit. You know, I mean, I'm well rested. I'm getting rest, but it ends up fucking me over when the weekend comes and my body is adjusted to being asleep at 6, 7 p.m. And then guess what? We got fights on. So I got to correct it, man. I got to correct it. But let's talk about the fight. Y'all giving Danny Jacobs a chance? Those ears, man. Them shits are crazy. Y'all giving him a chance? Who's saying the fight's 50-50? Who's saying he's going to get knocked out? You know, people still holding that Dimitri Pirog knockout against him. It was a flash knockout. Yeah, he did get knocked down by the Latin Snake, Sergio Mora. Yeah, he did get knocked down by Golovkin, you know, awkwardly. You know. So we know that he can go down, and we know he can get knocked out. But times have changed. 75-25, damn, Jose. You know, you're smoking. No chance. You know, see, here's the thing. He can't go out there. Do you think it will be in his best interest to go out there to try to box him, to try to box Canelo? Or should he go out there, play the pressure fight, and try to put a boot in Canelo's ass? Canelo's a very good boxer. I think Danny Jacobs was going to get lit up. Look how Salusky was laying hands on him. Salusky was laying some hands on him. You know, 40% Jacobs. I can, you know, I can go with that. I can go with that. 63-37. That's very controversial. But Jacobs can win. It's not like he's just like a complete, like, you know, like underdog. He's got to go to the body though. But I noticed it at the end of his combinations, he's sloppy, and Canelo was very accurate with those combinations. He do be slapping. He don't be sitting on his punches. By Trisha. I can't. I think Jacobs can do both depending on his. You know, well, this is the biggest fight of his career. They got to pull out all the tricks out they bag. You know, one of the things he's got going against him is already 30 days before the fight, he's 175.8. Already before the fight? Already before the fight, he's 175.8. You know? Jacobs has to outbox him and win 10 rounds. They still not going to give it to him on the cards. You damn well know he is not going to leave Vegas with no goddamn decision. Come on. They even tried to rob Floyd in his own city. Come on. He is not leaving out of Vegas, but no, he better not fuck around like that. But then again, you know, it can happen. You know, he can get a win on the cards, but come on. Canelo, like, that's Oscar City for real, for real, for real. Oscar still own that city, and like inner boxing circles still know that to this day. You know? What would he look like getting knocked out by Canelo? Like, do you think Canelo is going to beat him on the card? Do you think he'll get knocked out? Canelo is a very accurate puncher, man. Those body shots fuck your shit up. But if Jacobs' plan is to be the bigger fighter and to come in there to try to bully Canelo, he has a good chance to do that. Because remember, the day of weigh-in is just that morning. You can still do the day of weigh-in and go motherfucker rehydrate. You know? Fix my chair. There we go. Oh, it's better. Better. Canelo wins, the top fighter in the world. Yeah. Yeah, but depends on how you look at the two Golovkin fights. Golovkin is supposed to be fighting either Hassan N'Dam or Steve Rolls. I've seen Steve Rolls fight before. The guy that we were just watching earlier, Damon Nicholson, I interviewed him. He's good friends with Top Dog Williams. Interviewed him like 2 years ago and lost the footage. I'm always losing footage. He can box Canelo. Yeah, you know. Okay, so do you agree that, you know, let's go look at it. Let's go look at it. Canelo! Okay. So let's start with Lindy Lara. Who's the better opponent, right? Let's just say it's today. Let's say today. Who's the better opponent? I'm talking about in 2019, if they were to fight today, and he's already fighting Jacobs, who's the better opponent? Lindy Lara or Danny Jacobs? Who would you prefer to see? Lindy Lara or Danny Jacobs? Let's not count the first fight. Who's the better opponent in your eyes? Who matches up better with Canelo? Lindy Lara or Danny Jacobs? Today. Don't count today. Who matches up better? I would think Lara with the movement, right? But then again, remember, I was one of those people that had Canelo beating Lara. You see what I'm saying? Damn, it's overwhelming for Danny. You know, but that punch variety of like Lara don't have no punch variety. You see what I'm saying? Okay, so obviously we know Danny Jacobs is better than James Kirkland. How do you look at Miguel Cotto? Now remember, at that time, it was a lot of buzz around that fight, Canelo versus Cotto. It was a lot of buzz around it. And a lot of people thought that Cotto would be able to give Canelo a boxing lesson. At that point in time in Cotto's career, was he a better opponent than what Danny Jacobs is today? Remember, that Cotto That Cotto right there with that 160-pound run, he was bullshitting around, like, you know, picking who he wanted to fight. He was too small. He was too small. I think Danny Jacobs, like if you was to match them up, like that Miguel Cotto and this Danny Jacobs today, I think that Danny Jacobs is the better opponent. What do you mean? You mean Danny Jacobs was a better opponent than that Cotto was back then? No, we're not doing the time frames. We're not doing the time frames. I'm talking about take that Cotto that fought Canelo in 2015 and this Danny Jacobs in 2019. Which one do you feel has a better chance to beat Canelo? Not knowing that Cotto had lost to Canelo that night. I know it may seem a little confusing. Yeah, Danny Jacobs would kill Miguel Cotto. Well, Canelo killed him for a little bit. So, yes, he's a better opponent than Amir Khan because Amir Khan, that was a novelty fight. That was like, oh, shit, what the fuck? Because I remember when I first heard it and it was announced, I remember it was first in the email. And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, well, this shit is fake. I was like, somebody fucking spammed my email. Then I went online and it was on there too. So the Amir Khan fight, that was a novelty fight. You know, and the outcome was what we all thought going into the fight that outcome would be. So Liam Smith, of course, you know, to buy more time to not fight Golovkin, he dropped his belt. And remember, they were saying, oh, well, yeah, we're really a 154-pound fighter. We have not grown into 160 pounds. They dropped down. He had to cut his beard, cut his hair down, get butt-ass naked on the scales to fight Liam Smith for that belt. And then guess what he does the next fight? Moves up to 164.5 pounds. You know? And then the two Golovkin fights. So when you look at, and then Rocky Felix, so when you look at, since Erislandy Lara, the last 5 years, right? Danny Jacobs is the best opponent he's fought since Golovkin. You know? You don't rate this version of Jacobs that high. He regressed since the Aries fight. But depends on how you look at Salusky. Like Aries was undefeated. Salusky was undefeated, you know? Depends on how you, and then look where they are today. Even though Luis Aries, he's like, since the Gabriel Rosado fight, he's been slacking off. You know? But like I said, when it comes to Danny Jacobs, his combinations, you know, like are a bit sloppy. Like, you know, on the pullback. And you can't be like that with a young fighter in his prime that's fast as shit, that's getting better each fight. Canelo's getting better still each fight. Nah, he not on the, you think he's still on the, he ain't on that tainted ass meat no more. That meat ain't tainted no more. And Danny Jacobs, let's face it, if he loses, he's got to start all over again. And it's not going to be easy for a guy like Danny Jacobs. Even though Eddie Hearn to keep him active, it won't be easy. It won't be easy. You know? Remember, he do have Peter Quillen soul, and Peter Quillen fighting this weekend. He still got Peter Quillen soul, and the WBO got a little piece of Peter Quillen soul too. They told him to not drop that belt. He dropped that belt. Derevyanchenko is fighting on the undercard of Quillen versus Truax. Billy Joe Saunders is fighting Shifat Isufi for the WBO interim title at 168. Gilberto Ramirez is still the WBO champion at 168 pounds. Who else sold Danny Jacobs got? He don't got nobody else sold. He only got Peter Quillen sold. Right? Yeah, he only got Peter Quillen sold. But Gerald Fletcher, not Gerald Fletcher, motherfucking Dimitri Pirog got Danny Jacobs sold. That Pirog is still haunting him to this day. To this day, his Pirog is still haunting him. Every time you hear about Danny Jacobs, well, you know, Dimitri Pirog knocked him out. You know? I really used to, Nah, get out of here. No. Sergio Moro don't got his soul. Get out of here. Sergio Moro don't got no souls. He got the contender soul. Yeah, P-Rock that was one of those fights where it was like, oh shit, they making this on HBO. This was before like all that political shit really started. Like, no, we ain't gonna fight him yet. It was different back then. Al Heyman was just making his bones in boxing. You know, sitting ringside watching Antonio Tarver versus Glenn Johnson. 2. Damn, my chair just went down. The Latin Snake. I gotta get a whole new chair. A fucking WD-40. This squeaky ass chair pisses me off. Yeah, P-Rock had to retire. He had major back issues. Like debilitating back issues. He can't fight no more, unfortunately. Let's talk about Golovkin now. Poor guy. Getting a lot of shit because he wants to take a little tune-up. And truth be told, that's what the DAZN wants him to do. The DAZN wants to protect that investment. Canelo, not stupid. Golden Boy know the deal. They know that they have to fight Golovkin. When you sign guaranteed money like that with a network, you have another promoter. You got another promoter. And the DAZN, John Skipper, is a promoter. So whoever wins between Canelo versus Danny Jacobs, Golovkin is getting his shot. Golovkin calls some major shots over there on the DAZN. You know? And that was smart of him to let Canelo sign his deal and then to get his deal and to get little bits of shit like whatever the rumor. I don't know if it's true or not. Little bit of equity in the DAZN, if that's true or not. And if it were true, they wouldn't they wouldn't want us to know about that shit. Even if it may be out there right now, that a rumor, but they'll lie and say, no, that's not true. You know? Will it be for titles since GG? I mean, we don't know what Golovkin is going to do. But one thing for sure is they do have their own plan for Demetrius Andrade, it seems. It seems as though they're trying to build him up. You know, either Golovkin or Canelo can fight him whenever they want. It's just that they want it to be a bigger fight. You can clearly see it. They're trying to build Andrade up. You know, and people who don't understand the politics of the sport don't understand. And I'm not saying that the politics should exist in the first place. But when you sign a new deal, you know, in this day and age of boxing, you're not going to go fight the top dogs on that first, you know, fight of that new deal. They got to protect that investment. They're not going to, that's just bad business anyway, you know? That's just bad business anyway. That's just like, you know, I'm just going to come up with a random ass analogy. You get your fucking bathroom redone. But then, you know, the first day you get your bathroom redone, you take your dog, he out rolling in the mud, and you go wash him out in the mud and in the motherfucking bathtub in the new bathroom. Fucking this shit up for the future. Some shit. Some bullshit analogy I just used. See? So I just put that together? I haven't drank any fluids in a while. I'm wondering why I'm thirsty as hell. Canelo! Terence Crawford has his own issues over there, you know, that he's being froze out. But guys like Jermall Charlo is going to be froze out. Can you imagine what's going to happen when the WBC decides to order Canelo versus Jermall Charlo? Remember, it's got to happen soon. They got to order that fight. But when will Jermall Charlo put the pressure on the WBC? They'd be like, okay, it's time to order that. And it would go to Charlo. You can say he froze himself out, but now he's going to have to probably go to 168. You know? But I'm looking forward to the purse bid because the DAZN is not going to let Canelo go. And also, think about this. How does a purse bid work when Canelo gets guaranteed money? How does that work? So let's say, for example, Canelo gets guaranteed money from the DAZN. Who bids on the fight and how is that money split up? you know. But eventually, step aside is going to run out, you know. I'm interested to understand like how that would work. Like when fighters just fight, like signing guaranteed money, you know. Not like the Charlos. It's just that the last fight for both of them humbled them. Jermall Charlo should have won, and Jermall Charlo should have lost or had a draw. He was eating those left hands, though. We know he got a chin. They was coming straight down the pipe. Korobov was laying them down. And we were talking about that the week of the fight. Like, yo, Korobov ain't no, like, for him to take the fight in, what, like a 2-week notice or some shit? And then to drop extra weight, meaning Korobov? So he's fighting on the undercard of Ranches Barthélemy and Robert Easter, right? Soon, as the co-feature. Looking forward to it. Against Liam Emmanuel, some shit. Forgot his name. Well, that card should have humbled them both. Like, you know, should have humbled them both. You know? How long we been live? We ain't been live that long. Wow. I've been pumping out a lot of videos, man. So I just want to take the evening off. You know, motherfucking play some video games. You know, watch some Netflix or something. Maybe sprinkle in some porn. Who knows? Shit. But it always takes me a few days to get back into the swing of things of doing the videos. For example, remember, Friday is Loma versus Crowler. That means the press conference, final press conference is tomorrow. And then we got weigh-ins galore on Friday. And then Game of Thrones is on Sunday. You know? I got to set everything up with Patreon. We're going to be doing film studies. We're going to be doing a lot more deeper. Basically, it's only but so deep we can go here on YouTube because everybody's trying to shut me down, man. So I'm getting copyright strikes and claims left and right. Shit, I'm tired of it. So, you know, the reason why we're going to Patreon is because you have a lot more freedom. Obviously, you're going to have to pay for it. I don't know how much, you know. But there we'll be able to, like, do uncut shit. You know, we'll be able to motherfucking, like, watch fights. We'll be able, like, we can do it on, listen, Patreon, from what I'm seeing, is the way to go. Like, with the freedom of the shit we'll be able to do. We'll be able to literally watch fights. Not together live. I'm talking about film studies. Like, film studies. Yeah, well, the podcast is coming. That's a whole different thing. You know, it's closer than it's ever been. I've been working on it for 3 years, but it's probably about another 2 months at best. No later than July. No later than July. But I'm not going to be charging y'all for shit unless y'all getting value from it. You know, but god damn it, I'm sick of losing money. That's for one. So I was doing really, really good, really, really profitable from September all the way up until December when they tried to shut me. No, to January when they tried to shut me down. They tried to shut me down 3 times. Like, shut me down. Like, when you go to click on the channel, you see them fucking TVs that say channel don't exist. I wasn't having it. All to promote these fights. Can you imagine, though? What would happen? What would happen if I wonder what would happen, like, if my channel was just like to disappear? Because if it was, I'm probably not going to start a new one. I'm probably going to start a whole nother channel, and I'm probably never going to cover boxing again. That's how mad I'm going to be. I'm going to be like, they shut my channel down. Like, this guy from Top Rank. Oh, don't get me started on Top Rank. Don't get me started on Top Rank, Guillermo. But anyway, what was GGG's contract worth? I forgot. I forgot how much Golovkin getting a fight. Forgot. Read some of the chat. Yeah, but you know what? No matter what I do, no matter what time I go to bed, I always seem to wake up around 3 or 4 a.m. No matter what, and I'd be even more pissed. Like when I'll think I'm asleep for a long time, and then I wake up at 2 a.m. I'll go to bed like 7, and I don't think I'm asleep. Like, oh shit, I'm like, you know, sleep, and I'll be like, I'll wake up 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m. well rested. thinking I was asleep for a long time because I don't have any clocks in my bedroom. Pisses me off. So right now I'm tired, but I know if I was to lay down, it's 3 o'clock. I'm thinking it's 6, 7 o'clock. And in the evening, it is 3 p.m. It is 3 p.m. No, Munguia's moving up to 160. Well, yeah. If he moves to 160, I'm pretty sure the WBC is probably going to rank him high at 160. Yeah, I forgot the exact number Golovkin got, or alleged to have got. Charlo get 50%. Damn it, I didn't see what that said. Yeah, Munguia's done at 154. They've been saying that for a while. You know. Jesse Hart is fighting Eliot Alvarez. He's saying in Canada is looking like in mid to late June, because Fury is fighting mid-June. Well, I didn't hear Jarrett Hurd was moving up. Jarrett Hurd really wants to get that other belt. That's already, like, Showtime is heavily invested in like Charlo and Hurd. But first, you know, he's got to fight J-Rock, which is no easy fight, on Fox. And I don't know where Charlo versus Harrison 2 is going to be, but that's already pretty much done. It's already pretty much done. The same thing with Charlo versus Brandon Adams. Or Golovkin can go still fight Brandon Adams. But the pickings at 160 is not that deep. You know, everybody's at the top. You know? Munguia, like, he's not fighting any of those PBC guys. It's not happening. You can just throw that right away. They want big money Canelo fights. Yeah. What happens to Charlo Correa if it loses to Harrison? Oh my, don't even talk about that. What happens if one of them loses and keeps losing and one? Oh, don't talk about that. He knows the deal. He cannot lose. Remember John Jackson. Was that John Jackson or John Thompson? I always get them confused. It was John Jackson, right? Or was it John Thompson that was laying hands on like Charlo before Charlo knocked him out? Like he needed to knock out the win. You know? I like how Tony Harrison tried to put those broke-ass glasses on. He had like one motherfucking frame and shit. John Jackson. But all right, guys, I'm going to get out of here, man. I'm going to lay down for a little bit. I've been sitting at this computer since about 3 a.m. I went to the market, did a couple things, but sometimes you just got to, you know, get away from shit, you know. I want to get away from all these screens. All right. T-Street Controversy. This is T-Street Controversy Live. Please subscribe so y'all know. We got more streams coming, press conferences, and it's still gonna be busy, man. So I'm gonna be back later on with some videos, you know, and then tomorrow, of course, with some videos because we still got to do previews on Derevianchenko and